In 1944, millions of Americans could lose electricity for weeks without panicking. They did not own generators, power stations, or battery banks. They relied on knowledge that every experienced camper considered ordinary. For them, camping meant building a fully functional home in the wilderness, and most of these skills were taught before age 15. We are counting down 25 of those forgotten tricks, from reading the land to managing fire, water, shelter, and food. The one that earned number one was the foundation that made every other skill easier. The countdown begins at number 25. Number 25. Before unpacking a single piece of gear, early 20th century woodsmen read the land like a map. Boy Scouts, civilian conservation corps crews, and wilderness guides picked spots based on safety rather than scenery. They assessed slope, drainage, wind, and shade. They avoided low-lying basins where cold air and dampness settle overnight, and kept a safe distance from water to escape sudden rising floods. Today, paved campgrounds and car camping have made this terrain reading skill obsolete. But during a prolonged blackout, this exact logic helps you identify the safest, driest room or outdoor shelter on your property. Number 24. Long before plastic water bottles and portable filters existed, earlier Americans read the land to locate safe drinking water. Boy Scouts, civilian conservation corps crews, and wilderness guides looked for active natural springs, wet seep lines on hillsides, and swift gravel-bedded creeks. They avoided stagnant pools, always tracing streams uphill toward their source before boiling the water over an open fire. This field observation replaced expensive equipment. While modern families rely on municipal treatment plants or stored plastic jugs, knowing how to identify clean, gravity-fed water sources secures a reliable supply when municipal pumps fail during a long-term blackout. Number 23. Before propane stoves made morning camp cooking instant, early Americans mastered the art of banking a fire to last until dawn. Boy Scouts and civilian conservation corps crews selected slow-burning hardwoods, letting them burn down to a deep bed of hot coals. Before turning in, they shoveled ashes over the embers, sealing them from drafts to preserve the heat overnight. In the morning, they simply brushed away the ash and added tinder, reviving the fire without wasting a single precious match. During a modern winter blackout, this simple skill keeps your home warm through the night. Number 22. When a violent storm knocks out the power grid, it usually leaves the outdoor world completely drenched. Earlier generations of Boy Scouts and civilian conservation corps crews didn't rely on luck or modern chemical fire starters to get a flame going in a downpour. Instead, they split wet, soggy logs open to harvest the bone-dry heartwood hidden inside. They gathered dry tinder protected beneath fallen trees, shaving feather sticks and finding resin-rich fatwood. By preparing all their fuel before striking a single match, they could summon heat and cooking fire when everything outside seemed defeated. Number 21. Once fire is secured, shelter becomes the next immediate need. Long before nylon dome tents lined store shelves, outdoorsmen built their protection from the forest floor. Hunters, scouts, and civilian conservation corps crews relied on the classic lean-to. Construction began by wedging a sturdy ridgepole between two trees, ensuring the sloping roof faced directly into the prevailing wind. They layered the frame with pine branches, thick bark, or canvas to shed rainwater. In a prolonged winter blackout, this basic woodcraft skill provides immediate wind and rain protection using nothing but the local landscape. Number 20. When the sun sets during a winter power outage, indoor temperatures drop rapidly. Long before synthetic sleeping pads, earlier generations of campers, homesteaders, and civilian conservation corps crews stayed warm by mastering natural insulation. They constructed thick pine bough mattresses, layering fresh evergreen branches beneath them to block conductive ground chill, and wrapped themselves in heavy wool blankets to trap rising body heat. When paired with a simple log heat reflector to bounce warmth back from a campfire, this setup kept backcountry travelers safe in freezing conditions. Today, this low-tech system makes freezing winter blackouts highly survivable. Number 19. Before meteorologists broadcasted predictions directly to television screens and smartphones, earlier generations relied on the sky itself. Civilian Conservation Corps crews, forest rangers, and scouts read weather changes by looking for a mackerel sky, tracking sudden wind shifts, and observing birds flying low to the ground as barometric pressure dropped. This practical observation allowed them to secure camp hours before a storm arrived. While modern families rely on digital forecasts, learning these natural indicators restores immediate life-saving foresight during a prolonged blackout when communication networks collapse and your screens go completely dark. Number 18. Long before propane camp stoves and microwave ovens, earlier generations knew how to turn a single campfire into a complete kitchen. Boy Scouts, Civilian Conservation Corps cooks, and wilderness guides mastered heat zones, arranging coals to simmer stews in a cast-iron Dutch oven, roast meats on camp cranes, and bake bread in reflector setups all at once. This zoning method conserved precious firewood while feeding dozens. As electric ranges and convenience foods took over, this multi-zone woodcraft art faded. But when a modern blackout cuts your power, one well-managed hearth can easily cook breakfast, dinner, and boil water simultaneously. Number 17. Long before electric refrigerators hummed in every kitchen, earlier generations preserved perishables using the raw thermal properties of the earth. Families, homesteaders, and Civilian Conservation Corps crews relied on spring box cooling, sinking wooden crates directly into 45-degree natural springs or gravel-bedded creeks to protect milk, eggs, and fresh butter. They managed shade and cool ground temperatures with surgical precision, keeping food fresh for days without a single watt of power. While modern households panic when the refrigerator goes dark, this forgotten woodcraft technique buys you critical time during a prolonged power failure. Number 16. Long before chemical fuel tablets or plastic lighters dominated the outdoor market, earlier generations relied on the natural chemistry of the forest floor. Hunters, scouts, and Civilian Conservation Corps crews scanned the woods for resin-rich fatwood, peeling birch bark, shredded cedar fibers, and dry grasses. These organic materials catch fire even in damp conditions because their natural oils and resins resist moisture. As cheap disposable lighters and commercial starters flooded store shelves in the late 1950s, this forest literacy faded. Yet during a prolonged blackout in freezing weather, knowing how to identify these natural igniters keeps you warm when modern matches run wet. Number 15. Earlier Americans looked at heavy storms not as a threat, but as a harvest. Boy Scouts, Civilian Conservation Corps crews, and remote hunters regularly turned bad weather into a vital asset by collecting rainwater. Instead of hiking to distant streams, they rigged canvas tarps, rubberized ponchos, and improvised wooden gutters to funnel clean downpours directly into wooden barrels and metal buckets. This simple habit of catching weather faded as municipal water lines and plastic bottles standardized immediate access. Today, when a severe blackout halts water pumps, rigging these basic gravity-fed collectors turns your roof into an immediate emergency reservoir. Number 14. Before modern hardware stores and synthetic tarps, earlier Americans treated the living forest as a complete construction yard. Civilian Conservation Corps crews, forest rangers, and seasoned hunters mastered species recognition to source exactly what they needed. They harvested lightweight white pine for sturdy shelter frames, rot-resistant cedar bark to shed rain, and waterproof birch bark for emergency water boiling. They burned dense oak for long-lasting coals and hickory for high-heat cooking. While modern families rely on store-bought lumber and propane cylinders, recovering this tree literacy ensures you can harvest shelter, fuel, and clean water directly from your backyard during a prolonged grid failure. Number 13. Earlier generations of forest rangers, scouts, and wilderness guides held their course without screens or battery power. They maintained orientation by reading land contours, tracing river flows, and following high ridges. During the day, they tracked the sun. At night, they aligned their route with the North Star, pairing these natural references with basic compass skills. This geographic literacy faded when digital maps became the standard way to travel. When a severe power outage darkens cellular towers and drains your battery, these analog direction habits preserve your orientation and guide you safely to help. Number 12. Long before modern campgrounds and prepackaged gear concealed the necessity of deliberate planning, earlier Americans structured their camps as working, disciplined systems. Civilian Conservation Corps crews, forest rangers, and scoutmasters relied on a fixed layout to keep daily work orderly and safe. They divided their living space into distinct separate zones: sleeping quarters, a central fire pit, water supply, food storage, wood piles, and waste disposal. This deliberate arrangement reduced accidents, cut down on wasted steps, and eliminated confusion. In a prolonged blackout, organizing your home into these exact zones keeps daily routines steadier, cleaner, and far safer. Number 11. When a severe winter storm knocks out your power grid, finding dry fuel becomes a matter of survival. Earlier generations of Civilian Conservation Corps crews and forest rangers knew better than to gather soaked wood from the forest floor. Instead, they scanned the tree line for standing dead timber and branches sheltered by thick overhead canopies. They used hand axes to split wet logs, exposing the bone-dry heartwood hidden deep inside, favoring dense hardwoods like oak and hickory for long-lasting coals. This basic forestry knowledge ensures your home stays warm even after heavy rain or snow. Number 10. Earlier generations treated their gear as lifelong companions rather than disposable utilities. When an axe dulled or a tent tore, Civilian Conservation Corps crews and wilderness rangers did not order replacements. Instead, they practiced a strict camp repair culture. They carved fresh wood handles for broken tools, stitched heavy canvas with sail needles, and honed dull axes by rubbing the flat side of a smooth river stone along the blade's edge at a 20-degree angle with oil. This self-reliance keeps essential survival tools functional during a prolonged grid failure when modern hardware stores are locked and completely dark. Number 9. Long before plastic storage bins and heavy gear lists dominated, mid-century woodsmen carried only a few primary items: a hand axe, a fixed blade knife, sturdy rope, a metal cook pot, and a wool blanket. Scouts, rangers, and work crews traveled light because they relied on skill rather than a pile of specialized equipment. Every tool had to perform multiple tasks. When modern utility grids fail, stripping your emergency supplies down to these fundamentals keeps your home organized, prevents decision fatigue, and ensures your most reliable gear is always within reach when the lights go out. Number 8. When darkness falls during an extended power outage, modern rechargeable LED lanterns eventually drain to useless plastic shells. Earlier generations of rural families, Civilian Conservation Corps, night watchmen, and scouts relied on flame-based illumination that required no electrical grid. They maintained simple kerosene lanterns and oil lamps, carefully stretching their fuel supplies to last through long-term stays. They also crafted homemade candle lanterns and used reflective campfires to push light far into the darkness. These simple, refillable systems provided dependable illumination night after night, offering reliable light in an emergency when there are no outlets left to charge your devices. Number 7. Earlier generations treated a single match not as a cheap convenience, but as a finite life support tool. Boy Scouts, Civilian Conservation Corps cooks, and wilderness guides never struck a match until their tinder and kindling were completely prepared. To stretch their supply, they stored matches in waterproof containers, carried live coals and metal cans during travel, and banked their hearth fires under ash overnight. This strict match discipline faded when cheap plastic lighters flooded post-war markets. But during an extended winter power outage, conserving your matches protects your ultimate backup, securing warmth when modern infrastructure fails. Number 6. Early wilderness rangers, Boy Scouts, and Civilian Conservation Corps crews never staked their survival on a single point of failure. They built deliberate backup systems, maintaining secondary options for water collection, fire starting, shelter, and cooking. This strict discipline of redundancy meant a broken axe or damp matches never became a fatal crisis. As power grids grew incredibly reliable, this ancestral mindset faded, replaced by complete dependence on single municipal lines. But when a modern winter blackout strikes, having layered backup plans keeps your household functioning seamlessly while others freeze in total dark. Number 5. Earlier generations of families, scouts, and civilian conservation corps veterans structured their daily lives around routines that required very little electricity. They ran their homes and camps by managing cooking, water purification, lighting, heating, food preservation, and personal hygiene as one unified system. This low-tech readiness faded when modern generators, battery banks, and total grid dependence took over. But during a prolonged modern blackout, viewing your home through the lens of a classic, organized campsite transforms chaos into a disciplined plan. It turns basic campcraft into immediate household preparedness, ensuring comfort and order when the lights stay out. Number 4. Early 20th century woodsmen structured an entire wilderness camp to function exactly like a self-sustaining household. Rather than scattering gear randomly, families, civilian conservation corps crews, and forest rangers integrated water collection, firewood processing, cooking zones, food storage, and waste management into one synchronized layout. Each element supported the next, allowing people to live comfortably in the wild for weeks. This total camp discipline faded as suburban homes and instant electric grids made self-reliance obsolete. But when a modern storm cuts the power grid, managing your home like an organized, zone-based camp keeps daily routines sanitary, warm, and completely orderly. Number 3. Early Americans lived by a simple rule: let nature do the heavy lifting. Instead of relying on mechanical pumps, they used gravity to move water. They used fire for light, streams for refrigeration, and standing timber to build shelters. Civilian conservation corps crews and wilderness rangers trusted these natural forces because environmental logic never suffers a mechanical breakdown. As modern appliances and electrical infrastructure took over, this practical resourcefulness slipped away. When a modern blackout cuts your power, looking to the landscape first allows you to secure basic water, heat, and safety without needing a single watt of electricity. Number 2. Under pressure, earlier generations of scouts, civilian conservation corps crews, and forest rangers relied on a specific mental discipline rather than a pile of heavy gear. They practiced constant observation, planning 3 steps ahead, and conserving every scrap of food, wood, and water. This quiet discipline prevented panic and waste before small mistakes turned into disasters. As modern families outsourced their judgment to smart devices, battery banks, and instant utility grids, this natural resourcefulness faded. But in a prolonged blackout, keeping a steady, observant mind is the exact habit that keeps you safe and resourceful. Number 1. The ultimate survival tool carried by earlier generations was never a piece of gear, but a disciplined mindset. Civilian conservation corps crews, forest rangers, and scouting pioneers treated the wilderness not as a recreation park, but as a complete living system where they put knowledge before equipment. They understood that every single campfire, standing tree, and flowing stream served multiple purposes. This mental resourcefulness faded as modern campers began relying on generators, batteries, and specialized outdoor gadgets. But during a prolonged blackout, recovering this ancestral perspective unifies every basic skill, turning your darkened home into an organized, self-reliant haven. Across these 25 forgotten skills, one truth emerges: resilience is not a product you can buy. Our grandparents substituted keen observation for infrastructure, proving that security isn't stored in a battery, it is carried in the mind. When the modern grid fails, your ultimate power is your own calm competence. Which vintage technique surprised you most? Let us know below and subscribe for more forgotten history.